evening, and welcome to Hello Assess, Perspectives on Inclusion. This program is dedicated to educating the general public about issues which are important to the disability community. We hope that as you watch this program either on PATV or on YouTube, that you'll recognize that these issues are important to everybody because people with disabilities certainly are a critical part of the general public. Hello Assess is brought to you through a collaboration between the University of Iowa Center for Disabilities and Development, Uptown Bill's Coffee Shop, and the good people here at Public Access TV. My name is Mike Sonic. I work for the Center for Disabilities and Development, and I serve as a co-host for Hello Assess. Keith.
My name is Keith. Well, I'm retired now. I work for independent living for 23 years in Iowa City. And I just published my first book. So, welcome.
Yeah, and you're already starting on your next one, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, we're really excited. This is each year with Hello Assess, we do a feature on employment in honor of National Disability Employment Awareness Month. And this year, we're very happy to welcome into the studio two people who can talk to us a lot about employment. They are Cauchelle Weber-Rickliff with the Iowa Department for the Blind. She's an employment specialist there. And Monica Brockway, who is supervisor with Iowa Vocational Rehabilitation Services in Iowa City. So welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And we'd like to start out by asking each of you to just share a little bit about your background, perhaps what brought you into the field of employment, and anything else you'd care to share. Even, we've had a chance to visit a little bit about some of our other interests and everything. So if you'd like to tell us a little bit what you enjoy doing when you're not placing people in jobs, feel free to do that. So who would like to start us off?
Okay. Thank you for having me here this evening. My name is Monica Brockway. I'm a supervisor with Iowa Vocational Rehabilitation Services, and I have been in the field of vocational rehabilitation for about 7 years. Prior to that, I served as the program coordinator for an AmeriCorps program through the 6th Judicial Department of Correctional Services. And it was through that experience I worked with returning citizens, people who had a connection to corrections, and helping them find jobs. And that became a real interest of mine. So I had an opportunity to move back to my hometown of Davenport, Iowa. And I applied for a job as a vocational counselor, not really knowing a whole lot about the field. I got the job, and as they say, fake it till you make it. And I fell in love with rehabilitation, and from there had an opportunity through the Rehabilitation Services Administration to study rehabilitation in a post-graduate certificate program through Virginia Commonwealth University. And now I'm serving as the supervisor for the Iowa City area office.
And I just realized that when you mentioned the AmeriCorps program, I believe that we met. I believe that I came up one time and talked a little bit about serving people with disabilities a number of years ago. We had a grant through Iowa Community, or the ICVS, the Corporation for Volunteer Service, that's probably not the exact correct acronym, but it seems like I came up and talked to the students one time. So perhaps we met in another life several years ago. So, and Cauchelle, go ahead.
Well, I'm Cauchelle Weber-Rickliff. I'm an employment specialist for the Department for the Blind, and I have been in this position for about 3 years. Prior to that, I was in another position with Iowa Vocational Rehabilitation Services as their self-employment specialist for the state of Iowa. So for that position, I really worked with a variety of people wanting to do all kinds of different fun, exploratory, and business ideas, and decided that was their vocational goal. Currently, in this position, I work with employers that are looking for ways to sustain employment for their employees, hire more people with barriers to employment, including blindness, and create those opportunities and make sure that they are aware of what challenges their employees face so that they can be very proactive instead of reactive to them. I came to this position through Vocational Rehabilitation Services and the Department for the Blind after working for years in the finance industry. I personally have family members that have disabilities, and I just never felt like they were being heard. So I became an advocate, and I saw a job posted, I applied, and here I am.
Excellent.
So I did.
You came from very different places and ended up kind of in the same field, so that's exciting. Keith, go ahead. You got it.
Yeah. Okay. This is for both of you. Do you think because since the inception of ADA, more individuals are attending college, has the job market changed that much and opening lots for people with disabilities?
So the job market it provides opportunities for people with disabilities. Since the passage of ADA, people are more aware of accommodations available in ways that we can integrate people with disabilities into the workforce and make the workforce a more inclusive environment. That's really the bread and butter of what we do. And Coachelle and I and our teams work directly with businesses and employers to identify what can be done for that individual to help them access any employment opportunity. So while the workforce continues to change, we just continue to become more and more creative and adapt in any way that we need to create those opportunities.
To add to that, we do a lot of worksite assessments. In those worksite assessments, look at the job and job descriptions, how are they performed, and who can modify or look at what possibilities can be offered to not only clients that I serve, but the clients that Monica serves also. We work in a team a lot of the time. I get the pleasure of working with Monica on a higher level, but then she has counselors that she supervises that I work with those worksite assessments or bring them into it and say I need help with these aspects. So with ADA, we really are very aware of what the businesses are needing. Because of those conversations, we really deliver on what clients or potential candidates they have in their labor pools.
Well, that's great, and I'm glad to hear the partnership between the two agencies, because I know, it hasn't always been that way. Many years ago, I was a rehab teacher for the department, and I know that there were sometimes some challenges about, no, they're yours, or, they're ours only, and whatever, so it's really cool to hear that you're partnering a lot. I think we should take a step back a little bit and kind of, I think we and those of us that have experienced disabilities for some or all of our lives are probably pretty familiar with what Voc Rehab is and what services are provided. But for those people who might be watching, because we are now online, we don't know where our audience is coming from or who they are, to talk a little bit about Voc Rehab in general in terms of what it is, and then perhaps, well, not perhaps, Then we'll ask each of you to just talk a little bit about, the services that you provide. I know that you have some services in common, but there are also, I know that there may be some things that are unique to your individual agencies. So I know that's a bit broad, but are you comfortable kind of going that direction and talking a little bit of giving us a little VR 101?
Of course.
Excellent.
Well, I'll start with Iowa Vocational Rehabilitation Services. We're a state agency. We serve about 13,000 Iowans with disabilities, and we have 13 offices across the state and some satellite offices. We cover every county in the state, all 99 counties, and we have a counselor assigned to all of the public high schools and most of the parochial schools as well. So we work with people starting at age 14 and really all the way up to the end of their employment life. So I've worked with people as old as 77 or 80 years old because they still want to work and we are here to serve them. Here in the Iowa City office, we serve Johnson, Cedar, Iowa, and Washington counties. And here we serve about 900 to 1,000 people, depending on the day. We are chartered to serve all 27,000 students with disabilities in the state of Iowa, starting at age 14. So that's why we are in the schools. And we're really proud to do that because we're starting the conversation of employment earlier and working with Iowa Department for the Blind and a number of our grant programs here in Johnson County that's making the grade. And around the state, we have intermediary network partnerships with the community colleges, as well as partnerships with our community rehabilitation programs, providing outreach. So we serve both transition students and adults with disabilities and helping them access employment. So if you're a person with a disability and you have a barrier to employment, which makes it difficult for you to get a job or maintain a job, then you may be eligible for services. If you are on Social Security for a disability, SSI or SSDI, you are automatically eligible for Iowa Vocational Rehabilitation Services. You would still need to apply, and we would need to determine eligibility or the reason for your eligibility, but you would already know that you will be receiving services if that is something that you're interested in. All of our services are free, and if there was a need for purchase of equipment, tools, or something else related to employment, we would determine if any costs would be associated with those. But all of our basic services are free.
Wow, you got a lot in there in a short amount of time. I did not realize that there was a counselor assigned to schools across the state, and also that parochial schools are served, because I know that at one point that was, if you went that route, sometimes it was much more difficult to get services. So I'm really excited that things have expanded that way. So let's hear from Michelle about the department, and you can expand as much as you'd like to on the services in addition to.
So just beyond what Monica's already elaborated with for VR services, we concentrate on the blindness piece along with other barriers to employment. So we do work collectively with IVRS, and we also are in the schools. We also have a counselor in every county, and then they have employment specialists for each half of the state. So people who are work ready are assigned, or I collaborate with the counselor, and we look for opportunities and work with that person in job readiness, interviewing skills, and job searching, and we work with other partners to collaborate with that. We also have the post-employment follow-ups. So once they're employed, we just don't not look at what they're employed in and tell them good luck. We really follow up. You know, that was the important piece of the VR piece, is just making sure that the employment is sustainable. And if it isn't, what can we do to help? We also work in the schools. We do a lot of transition programs in conjunction with the schools, IVRS. We look to partner those pieces because of the resources that are available. We want to maintain a viable source for the kids and start those conversations. Again, it's the same. We start at 14, we go up to whatever age for all of our clients. We also, to expand on the VR side of it, we also have the independent living program. That is serving individuals who are typically 55 or older that have blindness due to a medical condition or another condition that's brought itself to surface, that they can't be corrected with glasses, and they affect that person's ability to live and do daily activities. Those program pieces look for cooking, cleaning, reading the mail sometimes, just helping that person navigate through the community, and how do we help them be independent. We also have the Adult Orientation and Adjustment Center in downtown Des Moines. That program really is geared towards adults. Those adults stay on what we call campus, and they are taught cooking skills, cane travel, really boosting their confidence and making sure that they have the tools to succeed, not only in their personal lives, but their professional lives. And it really boosts their self-confidence in the sense that they can expand their skills and not be afraid to venture by themselves and know that they can do it with that piece. We work on job readiness at the orientation skills. We have a person who is a business coach there, and they look for job searching. If a college is another option, they look at colleges. So even though it's geared towards just adults at the orientation center, those programs are really for how do you go to the next step of where you're at.
And because I went to the orientation center, and I actually did it while I was in college, and it gave me, you were so right, Cochelle, about boosting the confidence, because I just remember thinking that somehow the world was supposed to come to me. One time I went to a class and the teacher didn't say anything, and I knew she was in there, and finally she said, "Well, what's the deal? Why don't you initiate conversation?" I thought, well, gee, I never thought about that. And then she said, well, yeah, so, sighted people don't always have to be the first to start the conversation. And some of those really basic subtleties I had never thought about. And I know that, once I knew that I could travel around, it's all, the reason for those of you watching, just a little bit of inside information on Hello It's Us is that we do talk with our guests in advance about some of the questions, and one of the reasons that I wanted Cochelle to expand on the department's other services is that taking myself as an example, once I knew that I could initiate a conversation, that I could cook, meaning that I could move out of my parents' house. I knew I wasn't going to probably find a job in Fort Madison very quickly, and that I could get around in a big city, then the whole world of employment opened up to me. So it is, when you think about employment, we have to think about the whole person. And so I think that, clearly the department and IVRS have really gotten that message and are going way beyond just, okay, I'm going to go place this person in a job. There's a lot more to it than that.
And you're correct, there is a lot more to it. We put in a lot of effort and time to make the individual realize that they can do anything they want to. It's not just that they have to wait for someone to come to them or start that conversation. That is so dead on in the thought process. thank you for pointing that
Oh,
out.
sure.
We also have a really cool library for blind and physically handicapped. This library is phenomenal.
It's digital, it's free to anyone with a disability, and we utilize print, braille, digital. I could go on for hours about the library. I don't even work with the library stuff a lot, but I get really excited about it. But the thing that I think is the best piece of the library is the fact that it gets information to Iowans that don't have access to information because of the print or the barriers that they have reading the print. So they make sure that it's accessible in all formats. They also do textbooks for college students and grade school on up. So that K through 12 and the college students, if they can't read the standard print, they make that accessible so they can have textbooks just like everybody else, regardless of anything that's posed to them.
And we're really spoiled here in Iowa because of the excellent transcription service too. I know that I've had, we were required a couple of years ago to go through, there was a training called StrengthsFinder. I don't know if anybody's heard of it, but it's a program where you go through this test and then you learn all about, supposedly anyway, about what you're good at and what you're and it really is a pretty good program, but we were required to do it for work and it was not accessible. So I contacted the library and, it was, they because it was a work-related thing, they prioritized it. And so I had it within, pieces of it within like 3 weeks, in an electronic format, which is just awesome, say step, because it's obviously been going on, improvements have been being made over the past 30 years. And even before that, when you think about it, with what VR and the department have been able to do, but it is nice to see those unemployment numbers coming down.
Mike, I really do contribute that to the partnerships that we've created within IDB, VR. Those partnerships are critical in getting in front of those employers and showing them that. And that's a trend I think that will continue and it won't stop because there are people that we work with that are more passionate than Monica or I are about this in allowing those opportunities to be brought forward for people.
So you mentioned, since we're on the topic of partnerships, you certainly mentioned the department, with the two of you collaborating, the two agencies, and a little bit about WIOA, which I assume that goes through workforce development, right? Is that right?
Correct.
And are there other partnerships at the state level that have happened over the course of the past few years, or is it more at the local level, or a little bit of both, would you say?
We work as a local, we call it a WIOA team, to identify resources within our region. In this region, we work with Kirkwood Community College and Iowa Workforce Development, and also some ancillary partners with HUD on our housing, and with some nonprofit agencies, so that we can better network and align services for people with disabilities. Of course, as we work with each individual, we identify gaps, and those gaps create barriers to employment. They're not always disability related. They could be transportation, it could be funding for rent, something like that. And so we need to really understand outlets in the community and resources in the community to best serve our job candidates.
And then some of beyond just those regional, because I do cover a larger territory than the regional that I'm centered here. We work with the 4+ program.
Oh,
We
yeah.
also work with Easter Seals around assistive technology. For blind Iowans, we have the Dale Carnegie program, and we also work with the Braille School in order to ensure that we are giving those opportunities where they're needed and ensuring that those resources are there.
It's really, having worked in the field a long time ago now, it was, let's see, I guess it would have been almost 30 years since I worked in the field. And there really, obviously, has been a paradigm shift from moving, at one point, I can't speak for VR so much because we partnered, but I was a rehab teacher, so I didn't work a lot directly with VR counselors. I did work closely with the Department for the Blind counselors, and this is not a criticism or anything like that, but at the time, I think we saw ourselves in large part as sort of an entity unto ourselves, that we were sort of a one-stop shop. And we certainly made contacts with other programs, and particularly within the independent living program, I worked a lot with, visiting nurse programs and homemaker health programs and things like that. But the idea of partnering with Easter Seals and partnering, having these coalitions, working with housing, Monica, that you mentioned, it seems like from the time when I was active in the field, that there's been a shift toward really developing those partnerships and seeing the individual client or consumer as more in a holistic fashion than maybe it was 30 years ago.
I think that's a great point. And when we talk about people with disabilities, we see a larger percentage of people with disabilities living in poverty. And I think our goal really not only is to help them find a job, but really to live independently and have a high quality of life. So it just goes beyond finding that entry-level job, but it's building those skills that are transferable, that will allow them to grow and learn and be in a job that's enjoyable. That's what everybody wants. Everybody wants to work and enjoy it, and that's our goal.
Do either one of you, when you spoke before, you said Iowa is number 8. Is there a reason why, considering we're a very rural state?
I think the reason that we're number 8 is because of our collaborations. I will 100% support that in the sense that when we find a position for a person or they find it and they need help sustaining that employment, rural Iowa has a transportation issue that's huge, like you just indicated. However, we look at other options. Are there work at home options? Is there somebody that's going to work in that area that can carpool if they don't have transportation? My serving blind Iowans, they don't drive. So how do they get to work? That's got to be creative. Do they live in larger metropolitans? If so, is their transportation readily available versus smaller metropolitans even that don't have the busing system, but maybe they have a taxi service that's available at a reasonable rate that won't take their hourly wages away. Those are all huge questions that not only when we find a position for a client, we really look at the bigger picture. Can they afford the transportation, or is it eating up so much that they can't afford to work? And if that's the case, then what do we do differently? I know I have a client that works at the hotel in Cedar Rapids, Kirkwood Hotel, and she works at night. She doesn't get off work sometimes till 10, 11 o'clock at night. She can't drive. She lives 2 miles away from the Kirkwood Hotel. She's a young, very attractive woman, and she doesn't want to be walking home that time, and she doesn't have any fear, of course, because she's young. But there is transportation services in Cedar Rapids for those after hours that we have found for her, and it works well. And she's able to maintain her employment, still go to school at Kirkwood, and get her college education that she needs.
Kind of wrap up here, you sort of jumped into the last question, which I was going to ask, and that is in terms of contacting your agency. So it sounds like one way for VR is obviously ivrs.iowa.gov, right? And I assume there's probably, well, in fact, I know there is a list of offices. That's one way of reaching you, right? And then Another way would be, is there a self-referral online, or is it best always for them to call the office and?
Self-referral forms are online. You can connect to us online. We also have a state number, and I do receive referrals directly from the Des Moines number. There's no wrong door, so you can walk into our office. We're in Eastdale Plaza in the southeast side of Iowa City, and the Cedar Rapids office is in Lindale Mall, in the basement of Lindale Mall. All of our locations and contact information are posted on our website, so please reach out.
And the department, what's the best way for people that want to get in touch with?
We have a website also. It's www.blindiowa.gov, and that'll lead you to all our information for referrals, contacts, and everything else.
Okay.
30 seconds.
Well, thank you so much. I knew this was going to go fast, and it did. But I love talking about employment, and obviously, and Keith does, and obviously you do also. So thank you so much for joining us for our two-part series. We obviously would also like to thank all of you who tuned in either via the PATV channel or through YouTube. And we again want to acknowledge and thank our sponsors. And Keith, we'll turn it over to you to take us home here.
Thank you, both of you, for coming. And have a good week out there. Bye now.